Guys, we got most of the wiring done today. Well, we got the wiring in this room done anyway. So this is where it comes in from the condenser. Did a lot of work to get it back in this conduit. That was a pain in the butt, but I ran new wires in this conduit. Come in here, one to the indoor unit. So really all the low voltage originates from the outdoor unit on these commercial systems, so it's a little different than some. Got the line voltage here tied into my unit. So this is the blower controls, and then this is the thermostat lead. Really, again, it's originating. Usually it's coming from the outdoor unit, and this unit is going to the outdoor unit. One other interesting thing I'll share with you guys while I'm here is I was actually running just the fan earlier today to kind of break in the belt, and I had this whole heat strip cover off, and I literally have no static pressure here because there was no air at all coming out here. You could almost feel it maybe pulling air in. So that's kind of interesting. 100% velocity pressure, 0 static pressure. Now of course I didn't have any probes in it yet, and I am going to take some static readings when I'm done, but I would bet that in these ducts we do start to build some static pressure and not so much velocity pressure. So to me that tells me my vanes are doing their job. The air is not being restricted in that elbow, and yeah, so that's cool. But coming over here, yeah, there's my lockout tag out. So this is the low voltage from the condenser tying into my another thermostat wire that runs over to this junction box here, and then from this junction box it goes to my new zone board that we put on there. Got a Honeywell 322, so we've got power coming from one of the transformers on the outdoor unit. Now this whole old school control system is going to break my power to the zone board, so that'll kill everything. The equipment side will still have 24 volts here, but with the zone board dead, nothing will come on. That way all my thermostats go blank. I think that's the way I'm going to leave it too, so they kind of know what's going on. So we got this junction box where the wiring for this interface takes place. What I ended up doing here was, it was really unsafe. I told you guys how unsafe it was with that that 208 single phase transformer in this box. So I went ahead and took that 115 volt transformer out of there, repurposed it for this, and I'm going to hook it up to this this wire where they were powering up that damper transformer from. I think I'm going to also put a little 5 amp fuse for the primary. I also put a 3 amp fuse for the secondary, and that should make it nice and safe and fail safe. So this is the thermostat that we moved from, we used to be right here, we moved it, it's going to be on the other side of the wall in the room. It's a downstairs thermostat, and this is that upstairs thermostat. We got that spliced together coming in here. So we're pretty much all set. We got our sanctuary thermostat ready to go, wired up to the panel. Now the way this zone board is working is the sanctuary, again, both dampers open with one motor. So as one's opened, one's closed. One's opened, one's closed. There's not 2 dampers. So the sanctuary thermostat is what's going to power the damper. It's going to switch it to sanctuary. So that's going to be the fail-safe on this system. Is the sanctuary, if both thermostats are calling, the sanctuary gets air first. When that thermostat satisfies, it'll send air down here. So if they need air down here, they are going to have to go to the sanctuary and turn that thermostat up or off. So that's how that works. And again, I ran my my damper wire in that conduit, put it back in that junction box where it used to be. Let's see, what else did I do? I got the vacuum pulled. I got 7 pounds of 410A in the system just as a holding charge. And oh, this is kind of cool. This is an old sail switch that we took out of the duct. Open, closed, open, closed, open, closed. Kind of cool. I guess if it was a vertical, huh. Yeah, it would have to be. It'd have to be like this. If it was vertical, horizontal, airflow this way, it would be like that. So I might save that. It might come in handy one day. Kind of cool. So yeah, moving along here. I am by myself. Pretty much how it's been going lately is my dad, and you guys have seen some other help too, gets me old unit out, new unit in place. Of course, we had a sheet metal shop construct and install this duct, and I kind of take over the refrigerant piping. Here's my refrigerant lines. I take over the refrigerant piping, and this actually has, this is a EDC, evaporator defrost control. Came standard on this air handler. It's gonna, I guess, shut the outdoor unit off if it starts to freeze up. So that's kind of cool. What else? What else? Oh, so you guys might have seen the heat strips up there. I was in a little bit. My dad thinks we need heat strips. I don't think we need heat strips. The old unit was electric heat only, and as we all know, that's really is not that much heat for the amount of amps it pulls. This mechanical heat pump is probably going to outperform those old strips. But he was worried about having all the duct built and then needing heat strips, so we've got the heat kit box in place. And what this is almost doing is acting like a static regain chute. Kind of neat. Static regain chute. I'm going to put a plate over this, and we're going to store the heat strips up there probably, just so they're there if you need them. Yeah, well, that's about it for the wiring part of this job. I do have the outdoor unit to wire still. Nothing too much to see there. It does work a little bit different. I don't know, I might film it if you guys are interested in all about how that interfaces. But this is kind of stuff I like. I do feel like they had the right company do this job to actually be able to get this whole system up and running. I think it looks pretty good. Of course, you know, may get some comments that some things weren't done like you guys might have done them, but I did try hard to make everything look good. And hopefully the original guy who did this job took a lot of time to use all this conduit. So hopefully I did him proud when I changed this unit out, and I didn't just have low voltage wires strung all over the place in here, and tried to make it neat, and actually repurposed a lot of the good old stuff that he used. Took out some really neat contactors like this one. Oh, where's my flashlight? Here it is. Contactor. It's the original one. That one was definitely made in America. Of course, it had a bunch of, you know, had a huge blower contactor. It had huge contactors for the heat strips. Just the low voltage was all that was. Huge contactors in the old heat kits themselves as well, all original. So kind of cool. All right, guys. Well, thanks for checking this out. Let me know. All right, we are going to increase the fan speed of this unit, and it's definitely not like a direct drive motor. There is no speed taps. So I'll show you, do a quick video here, show you guys how I do it anyway. It's probably not the right way. I don't work on these big systems a lot, but I do know a little bit about the belt drive and how to increase the speed. We're gonna, of course, this front panel's coming off before the job's over because it's front return, and it may look like it has no return static, but it actually does. As you can see, this door has no grill. There's no grill in the room. So where's the return coming from? It's actually got guys probably can't see it up there, but it's got panned off return up there that leads up into the sanctuary. And there's several issues with the return. I really won't get into that right now, but you can tell this room is under quite a bit of static because this door shuts, the slam shut pretty good. So we're definitely fighting against some return static. This is also 208 voltage, so the motor's already going to be spinning a little slower than it would at 240, which is how they come, I believe, set up for 240. So we're going to increase this speed one setting by, well, let's get to it. I'll show you guys. Let's see what size socket we need. Okay, we're going to loosen up this motor here. Remove the belt. You're really not supposed to stretch the belt over the pulleys. It can damage them. So you kind of want to loosen it up first, and we got to come over to the side, do the same thing. Loosen it up a bit. Okay. I like to kind of leave it. Okay. So belt's nice and loose, and we can slip her off. I had this belt running for a couple hours. I'm kind of just looking at it to see if one side's wearing out more than the other. This motor came from the factory and it does not look like it's perfectly level. In fact, I can tell. Grab my level here. I want to use a straight edge. And I can tell that it's not perfectly level. Probably need a shorter straight edge, but so got a little bit of a gap. You guys probably can't see that on camera as good as I can, but a little bit of a gap, that motor. And I can also tell by looking straight across here, the whole motor shifted a little bit. I don't know why. I can't really do anything about that. I'll try to make a little bit of a adjustment for it by jacking that up like that. You guys see how that kind of cocks the motor. I'm going to try and make it as straight as I can when I'm done here. But, alright. Get our Allen set out. Okay, so that's that setting. Now let's have a look over here too. Get out. Now they do have a chart up in here of static pressure, but it's a little hard to interpret because you need an RPM reading to get, to really use the chart. But what we're going to do here is we're going to reference this chart right here. So let's see. I want to see what the factory. I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. Alright, so let's see what the factory setting is. Let's loosen up this set screw. Well, that was not exactly on that flat spark. Very good. I hope it didn't damage the threads. Oh, okay. So that's where we are. So let's see how many turns out we are. 1, 2, 3. 3. Okay, so we are factory 3 turns open. Oops, over up here. Factory is 3 turns open. We're going to take it to 2 turns open. Increase my RPM a little bit. So you guys can remember back from the 10-speed bicycle days, the bigger the sprocket was on the front, I forget what you call that, pedals. Anyway, then the faster you go. Same thing with this one. Increase the diameter of that motor pulley. It's going to spin the second one faster. So let's go from 3. Let's see if I can mark this. Okay. So factory was 3 turns open. We're going to put it to 2 turns open. So back 1 open. So that's 1 turn open. That's 2 turns open. And that was the factory 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay. Let me double check myself. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's 0. Alright, so I messed up a little bit. And what's nice is if you lose track like I kind of just did. Oh, where's my Allen? Okay, what you can do is take this Allen, set screw all the way out, and we're going to look for the marks. Because I don't think I stopped at the full turns closed. So okay, that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it was 4 turns open. Oh, stop it. Okay, so there's our marks. That's 1. So basically increase it about 50. Let's go 2. So I should have 2 left. 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2. You want to find your flat spot. Don't want to lose this. Okay, we got a lockdown. We got a lockdown in the 2 turns open setting. This says we're going to be running 727 roughly. So we'll see where we fall once we got everything put together properly. Now, I see a nut down here. That concerns me. Okay. That's just something from the old wiring. Nothing to worry about. Alright, let's throw our belt back on. Sometimes if you make adjustments, you really almost need a new belt, but as you can see, okay, so I didn't stretch it. Don't want to stretch it over the pulleys. This belt was super tight from the factory too. I was surprised how tight it was. And it does have to break in, and it will get looser as she runs. You want to actually kind of check it after 24 hours, and then after 48 to 72 you kind of want to retension it, and then she'll run for a couple years. But I can see that motor's really cocked right now. So now that we got the front adjustment done, let's I'm going to pick that up as high as I can. Pick this up as high as I can and lock it down. Well, also take a straight edge and see where your belt is now, because what we did was we did just move that pulley in a little bit. So sometimes they're out of whack. It's close. Yeah, she's pretty close. She's still about the same. She's still about the same as she was cocked. I might try something else. I'm going to try and loosen this up. Loosen the tension off this side a little bit, and then try and jack that side up a little more and see if I get I'm gonna play with it a little bit. This looks like it's about as good as I'm gonna get it. It's a hair off, you know, because this pulley's flat. I'm pretty sure this pulley is flat. And this one is just a hair in at the top in reference to the bottom, but you know, that's the way it was shipped. I don't know how to change that. Belt's a little bit looser than it was shipped. I don't like running them that tight. Kind of ruins these bearings, motor bearings, drive bearings, and this will seat in and probably loosen up a bit, and I may do a final adjustment. But I got everything locked down. Double check. Make sure I got everything locked down. So yeah, that is how you adjust the fan RPM or adjust blower speed on a belt-driven motor with adjustable pulleys. Alright, we'll see what our numbers are when we get it fired off. If I have to change it again, I'll let you guys know. Well, here's that crazy damper setup. I just worked on this thing for like 2 hours trying to get the sanctuary to open more. This is a rinky-dink setup, but let it close here. You can watch what happens. Never mind, this is already closed. So you can watch how this one's going to start to open, and this one's going to get it closed. Okay, so now this one's open, this one's closed. And what happened was, if I adjusted this to make it open more, it kind of bound up. And then when it would try to close, it would pull straight up on this shaft and just about break it off. It still kind of pulls up on the shaft, but that's how it always was. You guys, I'll let you guys take a look at that. So that's that. Right here. And you can look up in this fire damper access. You can see that that one's closed and this one's open. as much as she opens. Like I said, if I got it to open anymore, it just messed everything up. So leave well enough alone. It's working.